is, you know, a lot of us were raised to think that the harder you work, the more you earn, or the more rewards you get. And the weird thing is, a lot of us find ourselves working, you know, working a lot because we have this model of the world that we think, okay, the more we work, one day it'll pay off. And on the other hand, we know it's not true, right? Because so many people are working really, really hard and not necessarily making that much. And they never really arrive at this place. They think they're going to arrive. And if you guys think about it, like, think about the richest people in the world. They're not the ones working the hardest, right? They're not the ones who are doing that day-to-day labor, who are, you know, the people who work hardest are the ones struggling to pay bills versus the people who are earning the best of living. So it's more about the strategy than it is the time and the hours put into something. I think we all know that. It's just that a lot of people don't know how to actually get there. So let's talk about this. Let me know if you are there. And I am going to share some slides with you. So yeah, let me know if you're there. Let me know what day of the career challenge you are on. Obviously today is day 4, but have you participated in 1, 2, and 3? If not, after this, make sure you go back and make sure you put your inputs onto those videos. You can find it on my timeline. Just scroll down and you'll see them, because we have some other really good stuff there as well, which obviously, you know, if you just do day number 4, you're not going to get much of a career outcome. So let's see if I can share this. 1 second. All right, we've already done all of this. All right, how to earn more money working less. So, like I was saying before, stop working. So I talk to, and a lot of clients, when they come to me, it was like in their 20s and in the early stages of their career, they thought, okay, all I need to do is put a lot of hard work in, put a lot of time into this, all the effort, and then one day it's going to pay off. And then what they find as they get into their 30s, into their 40s and beyond, a lot of times they look at their life situation and they realize, wait a minute, I'm still working really hard and I don't have the life outcomes that I want. Like, there are personal goals of mine that I'm not reaching. So it's really, really important to take stock of those sacrifices that you're making. A lot of times those sacrifices are actually unconscious. Like, you don't even realize that your mind is playing this game where you're like, oh, it's just for now. I'm just sacrificing for now, because down the line, you know, it won't be forever. And then down the line, of course, what happens is we realize, wait, that was forever. And things just kind of kept going. And then until you reach retirement and you're like, wait, what did I do? I just spent all of those years sacrificing for what? So that's why it's so important to take stock of your life right now. Make sure that the time you're spending in your job is, it's part of your life, right? The amount of hours you work in a day, that is your life. That's a huge number of hours of your life. So you want to make sure you're enjoying your work, but also you want to make sure that your personal priorities are respected and you're not sacrificing the rest of your life just for your job, because most of you guys do have other things that are important to you besides just your mission or just your work. And we actually spend about 90,000 hours over our lifetimes at work. So this is why, if you're one of these people who's just trying to go, okay, well, my job isn't the best, but you know, I'll try with that. 90,000 hours. Do you really want to sacrifice that much lifetime just on weekends or something like that? My guess. So the biggest favor I find you can do for yourself is to stop thinking about this work-life balance that nobody can ever really create, and to stop thinking about, okay, there's work on one hand and then personal life on the other hand, and these two things are constantly competing. and there's no way to really balance those out, right? One. So in my case, people are always telling me, stop working so hard, just rest, just relax, just calm down. And it drives me crazy because for me, my work and my life is one. I love my work. I love my life. I'm not saying I just work all the time. Like there's other stuff that I do, obviously, but I see my work and my life as one. So a lot of times what I do in my quote unquote personal life, when I'm not, let's say, in the office or on my laptop, a lot of that actually fits in with my mission. And in a way, you can say that I'm working. And at the same time, when I am sitting down physically on my computer, in the traditional, what people call work, I'm really enjoying it. It's fun for me. It's actually what I do for fun, and that gives me energy. It doesn't drain me so that at the end of the day, I'm just too tired to do anything else. So I want you to see your work and your life as one, because they are. The time you spend working is part of your life, right? It's still counting down the hours of your life clock. So even if you don't want to see them as one and you want to try to separate them, it's just a false paradigm. So the best thing you can do is give yourself permission to figure out, how are you your best self, right? What makes you happy? What makes you healthy? Are you someone who, well, if that's the case, done, that's not really possible, so I just need to cope. And maybe, I know people used to tell me, well, maybe in 10 years time, when you're this really, really experienced big shot, then you can make these kinds of demands, such as working from home, right? And it's not true. If that is what you want, you need to know the strategies to actually create that now. So for some people, it's working from home. For some people, they actually want to be in like a really high class, high end corporate environment, right? Like for them, sitting around at home, they're not their most productive selves, and they want to have that buzz, and they want to feel like they're at the top of the world with other really, really high level professionals, and they want to be there brainstorming. Some people want that. Like I know for me, I like a balance of both of those. So I like to be around other people. I love working in offices, but I also like to have time to myself, just getting stuff done from home. So I like a combination. Some people prefer one way or the other, but what is it for you? Like, let me know now. Do you prefer working in an office, or do you prefer working from home? What would be your ideal scenario? And then there's so many other variations of this. So for some people, it's less about the environment, and it's more about the country or the city. And there's this dream city or dream country they're dying to be able to go to, but there's not enough jobs there, right? For other people, it is about the environment. Like my client Laura, she wanted to have an aesthetically beautiful place to work, and she is an artist, so it makes sense, right? For her, those aesthetics are really important. Other people care less about the aesthetics, and it's more about something else, the people around them. Or for Laura, she wanted to bring her dog to the office, right? So that's something really, really specific, but for every person, it's different. So for you, what is that? What are those kinds of things that are not strictly work related? It's more about the environment, it's more of those personal wants. What would that ideal situation be if there were no buts? If it's not, well, I would like that, but for me, it's not possible, or my boss doesn't let me. If you get rid of the buts, what would that be? And like I mentioned before, if you don't create that now, it won't magically appear later. So all of these things, they happen. I mean, I'm not saying they won't happen by themselves, but it's very unlikely. If you don't consciously create them, if you don't get yourself a strategy now to actually make that happen, then don't expect that it's ever going to just magically appear. Your boss is not magically going to say, you know what? You seem like you really want to work from home, or I know you've been asking me to work from home, so today I'm in a better mood. Today I'm going to let you start doing that. that's not going to happen, right? If you've been asking for something and it's not happening, or if you haven't been asking because you just don't know how, why can't I spend time with my family now? Why am I telling myself that, oh, you know, I just have to get past this month or this year and then I'll spend time with my family, right? And so that's why now is really the time to start making that happen versus going, oh yeah, in a few years' time, then we'll see. I actually just had someone reach out to me who has a goal to get into a certain type of position before the age of 30. So that is an interesting goal, right? It's like before the age of 30, it's kind of nice landmark. But the problem with goals like that, they make you kind of go, yeah, I'm working on it. I want to get that job now, not before the age of 30, not before the end of the year. You just say, I'm getting it now. I'm getting it. It's happening now. Obviously, these things take time. So, right, if you wait until, if you're working on it, quote unquote, until the age of 30 or until whatever time period, what you're going to find is that the goal, you're going to hit 30 or you're going to hit the end of the year, asking yourself, okay, if I wanted to make that happen now, right? Even if you're like 20 years old and it's a crazy goal for a 20-year-old or a crazy goal for a 30-year-old too, you know, you want to become the CEO, let's say, of a company, or one thing I hear a lot is one day I want to start my own NGO, but after I get all these years to become the leader of, and that actually makes you do the things you would need to do in order to get there. So that's a really good question to ask yourself. And the main thing, like the most important thing, is to realize you can enjoy life. You don't have to be drained at work or anything like that. You can really make time for the things that are important to you while you grow your career. Like you can be a very, very highly successful industry leader while making time for your self-care and all the other things that are important to you. So here's an example of one of my clients. So this is Sarah, and she used to live in London, and you know, everything was going fine in London, but there were certain personal priorities that she felt were lagging behind. So for her, she felt like it was her social life that was lagging. She felt like she wanted that international experience. It was just feeling like same old in London, right? Because that's where she's from. So she invested in mentoring with me, and she got the strategy she needed to actually get herself abroad, get herself an international career. She ended up actually with 2 different job offers, and she landed in Hong Kong. And it was crazy because within 1 week, she had a new apartment, she had a new group of friends. They're going on all these trips. I think she just went to Tokyo last weekend and to this amazing festival. And she was telling me, oh, the festival was amazing, you know. And she has all these great friends. They do all these Southeast Asia trips. And she's living a totally new life. But if she had told herself, okay, this is something, one day I would like to have more international positions, one day I'd like to do that, she'd still be in London right now, and she'd actually be getting further away from ever making that goal a reality. So do you guys understand that when we talk about one day I'd like to do that, it actually pushes the goal further away versus keeping it on our radar? You know, a lot of times we think it's keeping the goal on our radar, and if we keep kind of keeping it on the back burner, one day it'll happen. But actually it gets more and more difficult because you spend more and more time where you are right now, and it just gets pushed further and further away. Versus, I mean, if you're not ready to make that move, that's fine, but you can start working on it now. You can get the strategy now. You can know what it is that you need to do now, because you're not magically going to know what needs to be done later. So she ended up moving to Hong Kong. She got these 2 contracts, and then of course life moves on, priorities change. She'd already achieved those goals. So the next thing at the end of the year is that she wanted to get a visa. So she wanted to be able to stay because she liked her new life so much and she didn't want to go back to London. Again, lots of new challenges, right? Oh, I can't stay because I don't speak Chinese and it's a super competitive industry, et cetera, et cetera. So we worked together again. And then the next move was that she got 3 job offers this time, all sponsoring her visa, and she was able to take her pick. And so now she's done a transition into a new industry. Like I said before, she got to negotiate between those job offers. And now we're working together again, and she's moving on to the next bigger and better things. So imagine if at that time when she was still in London, she had said, okay, this international career, this new lifestyle, that's something for the future. Like, she would be so far behind compared to where she is now in terms of reaching higher and higher goals, in terms of not only earning more money, but also getting her lifestyle the way she wants it. And lifestyle is like money, by the way. Like, the more you advance, the more options you get. So you know how when you get a job, like you can get a job upgrade, you get paid more money, that makes it easier to get paid more and more and more. So the sooner you can get that salary upgrade, the sooner you can get those next upgrades. Another reason not to leave those upgrades for one day, right? So it's the same thing with your lifestyle. So if you figure out, if you know the strategy, let's say you want to work remotely, let's say you know how to do that and you're able to get it early on, then you know how to do that again and again and again. And you can tell employers that you've done this already, you know how to do it, it's something that you've gotten before. So for them, it makes you more trustworthy to give you those kinds of perks again. And it also makes them feel a bit more like, okay, that's just how this person works. They've done it in the past, they can do it again. So the more options you start putting on your side now, the more options you're going to continue to have in the future, whether that's the working remotely or going on those work trips like Laura, who was in the Bahamas for work the other day, whether it's getting those salary upgrades, whether it's having more time to spend with your family, or just being around the kind of people you want to be around. For those of you who feel like you're in a pool of people where they're not right for you, like this is not your tribe, getting into that tribe, being around people who you feel are really, really inspiring, and just being a part of your chosen community, like that is so, so invaluable. And that's another thing that you shouldn't wait around to get. Like, you deserve to be one of those people in the now. And imagine how much you're going to be able to grow if you get into those communities now and you're a part of that network and you all get to know each other. Like, how many more opportunities is that going to open up, right? So there we go. That is today's career upgrade, your career upgrade challenge. So I want you guys to let me know, what is your lifestyle goal? What is that lifestyle goal that you would be so excited about? Is it a particular country you wish you could live in? Is it being able to work from home? Is it spending more time with your family? What is that goal? Let me know. And then after this, if you have missed any of the previous challenges, just scroll down to my profile and make sure you do those as well. Okay, guys, looking forward to hearing all of your exciting goals for a lifestyle. And if anyone doesn't really want to share them here on this thread, or you have questions about that, feel free to send me a direct message, and I am happy to brainstorm that with you and see if I can help. All right, guys, thanks for joining, and see you next time.